So our STEM content, we're more than just a TV show. So beyond, everyone these days is transmedia, and that really just means having the ability to interact with content in multiple platforms, which I'm sure everybody in this room already does. So you have a favorite TV show or character, and you are not only necessarily watching their TV linear broadcast, but you want to know their blog or their website or what they tweet. And so in that transmedia world, we create content beyond the show. And what's great about STEM is that you really want the kids to get hands-on with this stuff, right? And excite them about testing it out and doing it for themselves. So we created some online games that take the themes from the episodes and play them out in game form. So this is where the kids really get interactive and get to play with the concepts that we've taught them. And so a third segment that we deal with on the show with STEM is Murray Monster. He is our host character that takes the kids throughout the hour, and he's out in the streets and he's asking questions to adults and kids, and mostly focusing on letters and numbers of the day, and a program that Murray initiated called Word on the Street, which is really reinforcing our vocabulary curriculum. Before, we were dealing with just literacy and vocabulary, so we decided to let Murray take on STEM words. So part of the vocabulary words that are the words on the street in this STEM year are words like experiment, engineer, investigate, and balance. Murray takes this even a step farther, and we decided to have him go out onto the street and do actual experiments with kids. So let's see if I can...
Hey, what helps a boat to float?
Let's find out!
Oh, boy!
We're going to be using this aluminum foil to build a boat. So we're going to take a look at each boat and see what exactly is helping it float better than the other one.
What made you design your boat like that?
I thought that it will hold more if the walls are taller, because it would be stable and float.
How did you design your boat?
Flat in the bottom.
Put in the water and start adding and wait. 8, 9, 10. Up! It held 10, and then it sank. 6, 7. Oh, fell over on 7. Good job. All these boats held weight, but this wide boat held the most. Wow! Those are some great boat designs.
So what we wanted to make sure when we selected the content for this part of the show was that we selected these clips, these experiments that were not only kid-friendly, but easy things that they could replicate in their own backyard or playground, so that hopefully they would get inspired to go out and become STEMists themselves. And so I mentioned that we're not just a TV show. So these are all of, probably these days not even all of the touchstones where you can find Sesame content and where we have tried to embed STEM. So it's everything from TV to web to podcasts, publishing. Tons and tons of books we publish, toys, games, digital media, home video, theme parks, live shows. And so the curriculum seminar that we have at the beginning of the season carries across all of these disciplines, and we use the different disciplines to scaffold the learning, right? So on the show you may see something, and then we try and deepen that when you can get into a platform that allows for interactivity. And we use each platform here to optimize the content to its deepest educational impact. And beyond preschoolers, Sesame Workshop a few years ago set up something called the Joan Ganz Cooney Center, named after our founder, Joan Cooney. And they are committed to researching the use of media on older kids, sort of the graduates of Sesame Street. And what's interesting is this is their second year where they've been focusing on STEM as well and sponsoring a national STEM video game challenge. They just finished the submission period for round 2. Season 1 elicited wonderful games, And they're targeting not just the older kids, because that's one target of the challenge, the game challenge, is to target kids to make games for themselves and other kids based on STEM subjects, STEM curriculum. But they're also, which I love, inspiring game developers to design games that teach STEM concepts or foster an interest in STEM subjects. And so moving towards the future, which we're already in because we're in the middle of writing season 43, we sort of took STEM the next step, right? And there's this interesting acronym STEAM, and what that's all about is using the arts to teach STEM. So sort of looking at STEM through the through the lens of art, the arts. And someone came up with the fun acronym of making it STEAM, which is actually catching on. You will see that as a curriculum focus. And what's wonderful about it is that the arts are naturally engaging. And one of the challenges, so people often ask me what my job is, particularly as a producer, and it is the balancing of all things, right? So you're balancing the funny, writers would throw puppets out the window if they could, because that's funny, and the researchers will scream safety concerns. And so as the producer, you're going a little bit of the fun and a little bit of the education, and you need to make a show that is engaging and also educational. And so the arts is perfect tool for that, right? Arts are natural, the arts are naturally engaging, so we can use that as a tool to get the STEM subjects in. And so I thought I'd bring a little bit of a highlight reel to show you sort of everything I talked about today in a highlight reel of our season 42, focusing on all this STEM curriculum.
Hey, welcome to Sesame Street.
Available for both takeout and delivery.
Rocco says maybe he could float if he had a boat. A boat? But Rocco's just a rock. Oh, Rocco really wants to float.
Guys, that would make a great experiment. You guys can be like engineers and design a boat.
Good luck. It's working! Rocco's floating! A boat to make a rock float, make it float on the water. Rocco's boat!
Hubert, the human cannonball will now be launched out of a cannon across the yard and into a bucket of blue gelatin. I'll find it like that.
You flew 0 feet.
That's none. I got nowhere.
Wait a minute. I think maybe I can engineer something.
What are you doing?
Okay. Ta-da!
Launch me.
Okay.
Good. It worked!
So give up. Keep on moving. You're gonna get there. Just keep on grooving. Don't give up. Don't pack it in. Try, and you will win. Don't give up.
Almost got the moves. Have you got the moves? Almost got the moves.
What's the word?
What's the word on the street?
Word on the street is experiment.
Magnify.
Observe. Engineer.
Measure.
Soggy.
Show me all your moves. Show me all your moves.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me.